Hello, my name is Nicole Williamson. Actually, it's Nicole Danell Williamson. I was born May 30th, 1975 to Francis Williamson and S.A. Williamson. I'm the youngest on both sides, my mother and my father's side, because I do have sisters by my dad, sisters and a brother by my mom. Earlier this year, I actually lost one of my sisters, one of my favorite sisters, Michelle Williams. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself because right now I'm battling stage 4 colon cancer, which has spread to my liver, so it metastasized, and I'm undergoing chemo treatment that I started last year on my sister Lisa's birthday, who actually has breast cancer. So I started my chemotherapy on February 5th, 2020. Today is July 26, 2021. In February of this year, I actually, well, a little bit more too, I actually passed out and wasn't breathing, and my mom, my daughter, and my granddaughter was here, and they had to call 911 and get the paramedics and the ambulance, and also as far as the fire station to come out here to revive me and to take me to the hospital. After I got out, I actually had to have a PET scan done that my oncologist, she's wonderful, her name is Carthy Savannan, and she's at Georgia Cancer Specialist. She ordered a PET scan because my CEA number, which is my tumor marker number, had started to go back up. At that point, it was at 77.5 or 0.9, which was going in the wrong direction. So I actually started back on, I think in February, yes, I started back on the aggressive chemo treatment with the new medicine called Erbitux. As you can see, maybe you can't see on my face, I have a rash here, rash there, also a chemical burn, but I'll tell you about that later. But I just want to be an inspiration and motivate other patients that's going through, as far as the same thing I'm going through, or maybe worse, because sometimes they always say there's somebody out there that's worse than what you're going through. So what I just wanted to let you know is that I'm here. I'm here for you. When I found out on January 16, 2020, I went to the doctor. Well, let me back up. So I began having issues in 2019. And I had back surgery, which was spinal fusion, in I think 2013. So the pain that I was having in my lower back for the last, I think it was like 2 or 3 months while I was at work, it was excruciating, but it reminded me of the pain in the same area, same severity as it was when I actually had the problem with my back before I currently had, sorry, not currently, but before I had spinal fusion. So I didn't think nothing about it. I was taking muscle relaxers, heating pads, I bought yoga stuff to, roll on my back, everything. I was doing this at work. I was standing up. They tried to adjust, adjust my desk, my seating and everything. Nothing would work. But then it finally all of a sudden just went away. Then probably in September, I started having problems with my stomach. And it started, just hurting, bothering me. I always had issues as far as using the restroom and, moving my bowels and everything, and digestion and different foods I couldn't eat. But it wasn't as severe as it was at that time. And also, in hindsight, I'm thinking, this colon cancer took a long time to grow to where it's at now for me to start out at stage 4, that all those times I was having those issues, it was symptoms of colon cancer, but no one had ever spoke to me about it. And I actually hadn't seen a primary doctor probably a year or 2 because I didn't have insurance. But I wasn't, I didn't feel like I was sick. I didn't feel like I needed it because I've always, all my life, I always went to the doctor for everything. Always, dentist, everything, surgeries. So I didn't think anything of it until my stomach started bothering me. So then, it started getting worse where I would vomit because my bowels wouldn't move. And so then I was just scared to eat. I had stopped drinking because I thought, something with my liver. Still didn't think cancer. But I said, well, maybe, I'm drinking too much because, I love wine, I love whiskey. And I was indulging in it probably too much as, I shouldn't have. So I just stopped. So then, October came, November came. I actually went to my parents' house in South Carolina to visit them to have Thanksgiving dinner with them, and I was sick then. So, we had a big dinner because my parents are getting older, and I sat there and ate a nice, healthy plate. Um, there was a lot on there, and I enjoyed it. But probably 5 to 10 minutes later, I was in my mother's bathroom in her room, vomiting. Everybody was just noticing my weight loss and congratulating me on my vegan diet and the weight loss because I had told them, I had went vegan for a little while, but pescatarian, on the verge of going strictly vegan because I know it would help me with the healing. But anyway, back to Thanksgiving. So, I drove back home to Alpharetta, where I live at, from South Carolina. I was sick. I was hungry, so I stopped and got some fries when we got back to to Sandy Springs. I stopped and got some fries and lemonade, which I love, from Chick-fil-A. Well, probably 5 minutes after driving, I had to pull over because I had to vomit. So let's go ahead and go to December. Still was sick, losing weight. I asked my boss, who I was working for, Susan, which is great. I asked her and her son, Max, I said, do y'all notice that I'm losing weight? Is it noticeable? And she looked at me, and the look in her face, her eyes and her facial expression, I knew. And she was like, yes, but we didn't want to say anything. It was very noticeable. So I said, okay, because I was noticing it. I was just dropping down. I couldn't wear my 8s, my 6s, my 4s. I was all the way down to a 2. So by then, I think I had lost by the end of December when we went on vacation for the holidays. Leave for the holidays at the job. I spent my whole 2 weeks in the bed. Even Christmas Day, I got up, tried to cook, but I still went back to the bed because I wasn't feeling good. I, weighed myself, and at that point, I had lost 45 pounds, which is a lot to lose in 2.5 months. So I had ordered some insurance so it wouldn't start till 2020. So I actually, I think right before New Year's, maybe a day or two, I was able to go on there, schedule an appointment to go see a GI doctor, gastrointestinal doctor, that deals with these issues. And I scheduled an appointment, and my appointment was on January the 8th. So I actually went to see her and was sitting there talking to her. She's a great doctor, Dr. Raina. And at that point, I didn't think she was great, only because I was trying to explain to her what I was going through. And she was giving me all these other things, saying what it could be, IBS and, just stomach issues, and wanted me to try Colace and go home and see how that worked. But me being my own advocate and me standing up for myself, as I usually do, I let her know. I said, no, that's not acceptable for me because I've always had issues, but this is a lot more severe than just a normal IBS or, digestion or taking laxatives or stew softeners to help it, because I tried all of that. I was doing that every day and nothing was working. So then she looked at me and she said, I told her about the weight loss as well. She said, well, how much weight did you lose? When I told her 45 pounds and within the time that I lost it, she was like, okay, I'm going to schedule you for a colonoscopy. And she did. And that was on January the 16th, 2020, which 7 days later. So my daughter Brazil, Felice Williamson, she was, she took me at that time, and she sat there and waited for me, and I, did everything I needed to do for preparation prior, which was the night prior, and then got there and felt like I wasn't completely, empty, which you're supposed to be, but, I went to the bathroom while I was there, and then they called me back and, started the procedure. They had put me to sleep, so when I woke up, I looked at Dr. Raina, who woke me up, and I was still, on the bed and everything, and the look on her face, I knew something wasn't right. And she said that we couldn't complete the colonoscopy because there was a mass that we couldn't get, the instrument around. And she said, and I think, you have cancer. She said, but I will send it off, but I'm also going to refer you to an oncologist as well as a surgeon, which she did. She did that while I was still sitting on the table, and this is why I said she was great, because the look on her face, she felt bad. She gave me a hug. She talked to me about it. She got on the phone. She didn't stop till she was able to reach them to get me an appointment. And she advised me to tell my daughter, which I didn't want to tell because I just didn't want to, burden that or put that on her just so early. But she said I probably needed to tell her just in case, I broke down in the car, and then, we could crash or something because she's worried and trying to see what's going on. So they called her back and I told her. We both cried. And that was the first time I cried. Then I got, dressed and everything. She gave me the information for the oncologist and the surgeon. And, everything I needed to do. Got in the car, wanted a smoothie because, I was hungry. So my daughter went in to get the smoothie. I was sitting in the car, crying still. And I called my mom and dad. I told them, what was going on. And they said, okay, we'll be there. I also called my good friend Laisa, who's over 20-something years. She was, a best friend for a very long time. Something happened now, we're still close friends, but it's the best part. I don't know if that's still there, but neither nor there nor here. But my parents packed up, got on the road, and they was there probably, 4 or 5 hours later, and was with me during every doctor appointment during the first part of this. So right now I'm just going to end this because I have to get ready to go to the doctor to receive my fluids to my oncologist's office, and I also need to eat a little bit. So I'll come back and give you a little bit, more information, tell you what happened from there on. Okay? Thank you. Nicole Williamson. Oh.